Little Little Man by Alfonsina Storni. Little little man, little man, set free your canary that wants to fly. I am that canary, little man, leave me to fly. I was in your cage, little man, little man who gave me my cage. I say little because you don't understand me, nor will you understand. Nor do I understand you. But meanwhile, open for me the cage from which I want to escape. Little man, I loved you half an hour. Don't ask me again. This poem grabs our attention with the connection we have towards sometimes feeling like we are trapped in a metaphorical cage of others' people's expectations. Little man could represent anything that you feel is holding you back from doing what you feel you are meant to do. For example, he could represent your parents and how you feel that they no longer understand who you are anymore. Maybe the cage they have around you is the expectation that you are still the 12-year-old version of yourself. Another aspect of the poem that caught our attention was the way the narrator grew the courage to say, "Don't ask me again." She is standing up for herself, and sometimes we face instances when we are the only person standing up for what we believe is right. This ties into the concept of the cage being a metaphor for a patriarchy. A patriarchy is a system in a society that expects men to hold all power, and including all the power over women. This is not as common as it once was in our country, but other women around the world still face this type of gender discrimination. Overall, this poem portrays the voice that every individual should be allowed to express, and we admire how this narrator finds a way to express her own voice. The first device we noticed was used in the poem Little Man was repetition. The narrator's constant use of little man emphasizes the lack of an emotional connection between her and the man. Not calling him by his real name shows how she has diminished him to being less and less of a person, and how he no longer has any type of importance to her. By referencing to herself as a canary, she is expressing how she feels she is being treated as if she were a pet. She asks to be set free, and this is the first indication that she doesn't feel free. A metaphorical cage is then introduced when she begins to talk about how little man put her in this cage. The narrator could be referring to what we feel is a cage of patriarchy, where he believes that the woman must be inferior to him. This cage could also represent the barrier placed between the expected roles of men and women. She then explains how little man doesn't know her and how he will never understand her. This shows how she doesn't feel any obligation to share her personal thoughts with him, and makes the audience understand how these two people seem to have been forced together in some way. Up to this point, the narrator has changed tones from asking to be set free politely to now being defensive about how he does not understand or know anything about her. Now she is calmly stating that she doesn't understand anything about him either. She loved him half an hour and tells him not to ask for more because she has nothing left to give him. You cannot love someone entirely if your freedoms are being taken away. By telling him not to ask, she is standing up to the expectation that women must always follow men blindly.